Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
And his contract ends the end of next year. Which is why SiriusXM, our birthplace of the show, not where we started our career, but where we started our show, where we still have a lot of ties. They're scrambling to figure out, well, what's next, right? You have to imagine. Call Her Daddy. We're going to get that show. We got this team Cohen and O'Brien and Andy Cohen. He's real important to us. Right? But they're spending a lot of money on this shit to try to figure it out. So now the article, according to the Hollywood Reporter today, is, will SiriusXM be able to survive after Stern?
Yeah.
Their money's going everywhere. And how many of those people are there for Stern that are willing to stick around for these other shows?
Don't they
They don't know.
They own his content for what, another 7 years? Wasn't it like a 12-year deal?
Yeah, they do.
5-year live.
I don't think you need new Howard to be. I think more people like old Howard anyway. The great picture from the Hollywood Reporter article is funny because it's a curmudgeon-y looking Stern, and behind him is Smartless, Call Her Daddy, Conan, and Andy Cohen. And I think the picture really is apropos. Is that the word? It's a good picture. Show the tier 2 folks, because I think this is the state of SiriusXM right now. It's all the more listened to younger shows hovering around Howard Stern, who I'm not quite sure anyone listens in the same capacity. Depiction. That's SiriusXM in a picture right now.
I don't think it's that cool. I think it'd be way cooler if it was us there. Honestly, I say,
you want to be at SiriusXM?
No, I'm just saying, I think we were overlooked in a lot of ways.
I would if they paid us $100 million.
Yeah, but it fuels my fire, so whatever. It all works out.
I'd take a cool mill.
Of course, I'm saying, but we're not there. I think that those are the biggest podcasts that SiriusXM makes revenue off of. And Howard still has his worth for sure. I just wonder, in today's landscape, is Howard close to those other names?
I mean, he's still the biggest dog out there for sure.
You think so?
I know so. Yeah.
No, but you think he's bigger than Call Her Daddy?
I don't know.
No, you think he's bigger than Rogan or Smartless?
Well, he's also behind a paywall, so it's tougher.
You think if Howard put out, I'm being serious, if you think Howard put out 2 or 3 times a week a free podcast, you think it would be top 10? It's a great question. I don't know the answer.
Top 10, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Top 10 spot? If Howard put out podcast in the old fold, would he be up there with like Smartless and Call Her Daddy and the Rogans of the world? I don't know. I really do wonder.
It really, it depends on.
Well, I have to answer my mom just because I don't want to talk about this later. Layla is taking her to the dance. Dad's not taking her to the dance.
If it was an interview style format, I think it would be.
Yeah, if it was like Howard did on Monday, he did interview this. Yeah, if it was A-list interviews twice a week or 3 times a week, Howard, I think, would be a top 10.
Or I think the regular show content probably wouldn't survive anymore. Maybe like interview and Robin's News. Yeah, and that's it.
So, it's interesting from our standpoint because, as Rich pointed out earlier this week, for years people have wondered, what are the other cast of characters going to do? Does anyone care to listen to any of them? Baba Booey and Rasanda, they do a great show. They're still good. But is that enough to sustain 30-something, 40 million people? Really interesting. And are people who are used to getting Call Her Daddy willing to listen on SiriusXM? Are people willing to keep their subscription because of that? All these things matter.
Is Call Her Daddy going to be exclusively SiriusXM?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think there's still ways for them to get it.
Yeah,
I don't know the deal. That's why I left it open like that.
Remember when McAfee was on SiriusXM? And they're like, exclusively on Mad Dog. And it's like, no, his show's on YouTube every day.
But it's such a weird, convoluted system of content because guess what you can get on the SiriusXM app? Covino and Rich on Fox Sports. So it's like, yeah, we're hired for iHeart, but as part of SiriusXM because they have a partnership with Fox, and you could get our podcast on SiriusXM. None of it makes sense to me, really. And I work in the industry. So
the company has an interest in finding and building up new talent, such as the newly signed Dylan Douglas, son of Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Gee, I wonder how he got the attention. Who has a political show. The hope of growing them into the next Smartless and Call Her Daddy. So they're like on the hunt for young talent as far and
you know that they prioritize, like what I do at SiriusXM now. The biggest focus, attention, and care is have kids. I said,
yeah,
I get like that is a way bigger attention getter than anything I'm doing on like Pop 2K or Hits One or The Pulse or anything. Like they are really focused on trying to just get revenue through podcasts. And I just wonder if Howard translates to that. He was the #1 dude for 30 years as far as a daily show,
But he could also do like what a Letterman did. He could get a Netflix deal.
You know what? If you're Howard, wouldn't you think that's the best move? What if Howard just did TV interviews like HBO Max, a deal where a weekly interview?
Yeah, pick a network or a streaming service that doesn't have that. Be like, I'm going to be their guy and I'm going to generate a ton of revenue. Pay me.